Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes and welcome to episode 7 of the Win with Music podcast. Today we're looking at the challenging question of how to stay motivated in music. Louis Armstrong was often quoted as saying that music is life. As we all know, life can get complicated, it can get difficult, and so too can making music. Well, I'm here today with one of my favourite musicians, Ross McDonald, an amazing drummer. In fact, we've just played for an hour. We're here in Ross's music room at his home. Ross, you're 85 years old. What motivates you at your age to play music?
Well, mate, I think meeting you after 40 years and playing some music again has motivated me to help take a lot of my pain away. I broke my back some years ago. I've lost my wife to cancer. It's a difficult life, but music is the one thing that keeps me going.
Yes, our experience together is a little bit unique. More than 40 years ago, Ross and I played in a very successful jazz quartet on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. But like all bands, it eventually disbanded and we went our own way. And I completely lost touch with Ross for more than 40 years. And Ross, it's fair to say over that 40 years, for many reasons, you lost your motivation to play music. Can you tell the audience a little bit about what you think, what caused you to just completely walk away from music for 40 years?
Brian, I think it was just the pain, the attitude I had towards everything. I'd had enough. It was a difficult decision to make, but my drums were just sitting there collecting dust. And I said to my wife, I said, I think we'll sell these drums. And she said, you're making a big mistake. You will play again. I said, no, I'll never play again, not the way I am. The attitude I had at that time was not good. But here I am at 85, playing music again like I never thought I could.
Ross, you've got a beautiful instrument behind you, an amazing kit of drums. Do you think part of motivation in music is having a really inspiring instrument to play?
Definitely. I had no inclination of playing drums again until a mate of mine took me to a music shop. He knew I played drums. He said, we're going to buy you a kit of drums today. I said, oh, you're joking. I went to this music shop, sat behind this kit of drums, and I thought, I've got to have this kit. It was out of this world. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing kit of drums.
It is. And for fans of the podcast, you'll see Ross play in action on this very kit of drums here. And interestingly, Ross, they weren't an overly expensive kit.
They weren't. They were on special. And I thought, do I need them? But when I played them, I thought, my gosh, they just sound so great.
They certainly do, at least in your hands.
And the thing with my wife, I could hear her voice saying, you will play drums again? So I thought, well, why not? Why not get them? And it's the best thing for my injury that I've ever done. And meeting you, Brian, and playing the music we're playing takes a lot of my pain away.
For those who don't know, Ross had a major workplace injury probably 50 years ago now, Ross.
When was it? 19...
How old were you when you had the injury?
I was 34.
Okay, so...
Went to work one morning and that night I'm in hospital.
Yeah.
In traction.
So virtually 50 years ago, a major back injury, and Ross has lived for the last 50 years in chronic pain. But you just heard him say that when he sits behind those drums and plays music, it's a different world.
Totally different world. I'm still sore, but you forget about the soreness because you're playing with something that you love.
Yeah.
And it makes a massive difference.
Now, one final twist is we've just played for an hour here in Ross's house, and despite the tyranny of distance, I live about 60 kilometres away from Ross, but for the last 2 or 3 years, we've made a point of getting together every weekend and playing sometimes for 3 hours over different sessions. Later on today, Ross and I are going to a jazz club to watch a band play live. Now, Ross, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's less than great, but how important is it, do you think, for musicians to get out of the house and watch some live music?
Well, somebody in my position, it is just out of this world, because you get away from this loneliness and pain, and you go and sit in a nice place and listen to some great music, and it makes a wonderful difference.
I agree. Good, bad or indifferent,
Yeah.
You're experiencing music live, and today it's too easy just to sit in front of a TV or a screen and take that as being your only interaction with music.
You know, somebody like me, my wife was my life. She looked after me, she cared for me. She's not here now, and I really miss her. But having this music is definitely a great source of a cure to take some of this pain away.
Fantastic. One final question, Ross. If people out there who are watching this are young, old, doesn't matter, whether they're beginners or seasoned professionals, but for whatever reason they've lost their motivation to play music, what's your best piece of advice for someone going through that stage where, for whatever reason, they've lost interest in music?
Don't ever lose that interest in your music. Keep going under all circumstances. You will find in the end it will pay off.
Thanks, Ross. Great advice.
Thanks, Brian. It's been great talking to you.
I want to end this episode showing you a version of the Dylan classic, Knockin' on Heaven's Door, that Ross and I performed as a duo just before we recorded the interview chat on music and motivation. If you watch from his very first beat, it's not a bass drum, snare drum, hi-hat, boom chink, boom chink, boom chink, wind-up monkey drummer part. He is really playing the drums like a songwriter. And his main concern is the feel he contributes to the overall song. As always, remember to make music a part of your life, whether it's just as a listener, an enthusiast, or as a player, a composer. And you'll win with music every day.